duty, man attains perfection. How one devoted to one's duty attains perfection, that do you hear. When each person is devoted to their own duties, then they attain perfection. The phrase samyak siddhi is used, meaning the ultimate success, that is, attainment of the Supreme Soul. Therefore, samyak siddhi means the attainment of God. A person who becomes devoted to karmas of his own nature attains the Supreme Soul and attains the ultimate blessings. Shri Krishna says that now he will explain how one attains perfection by being devoted to one's own duty, and that Arjuna should hear this. God has given one statement that a person who is devoted to his own duty attains perfection. This means that the success that the Brahmin achieves by performing his 9 duties, the success that the Kshatriya warrior achieves by performing his 7 duties, the success that the Vaishya merchant achieves by performing his 3 duties, and the success that the Shudra labourer achieves by performing only 1 duty are all the same. Therefore, who has got the biggest advantage of all? It is the Shudra, the labourer, because he only has 1 duty to perform to achieve the same level of success as the other Varnas, sections of society by nature, achieved by having to perform more duties. Brahmins have been given a much stricter task because if they do not perform one of the 9 duties, then they will not achieve success. And there are descriptions in reality in the Srimad Bhagavad, in the Mahabharata, and in the Manusmriti that one who has been born as a Brahmin but does not perform the work of a Brahmin, if you feed such a person during Shraddha, the time of giving offering to ancestors, then it will not reach the ancestors. It is very clearly written there. If a person is a Brahmin by birth but not a Brahmin by his karmas, then this is what happens. Not only that, but the Manusmriti even goes on to say that if you make such a person do hard labour for free, then you will not incur sin. It's very clearly written there. There's a verse in the Manusmriti that if a person is a Brahmin, know wisdom or with the wisdom of the Vedas and has everything, yet he does not perform his natural duties, then all of this wisdom goes away from him, just like when a baby bird leaves its nest after getting wings. During his last moment, this wisdom is of no use to such a Brahmin. If he has attained wisdom but has not given it to anyone, then this is what happens to him. He is not making efforts for his own spiritual development. When a person has gained understanding in life and has a time of 50 years, 60 years or 70 years, yet you do not see any changes in him, then it's of no use. Therefore, a noble birth is an award, but at the same time as being an award, it is also a responsibility. Being born as a Brahmin is the grace of the Supreme Soul, and it is because of the Satkarma, divine acts that the person has performed in his previous lives. But after performing those Satkarma, it does not work by sitting around lazily. If a human being keeps performing more Satkarma and keeps walking further on the same path, then he attains the Supreme Soul. When a person is devoted to his own duty according to his nature, then he attains perfection. He attains God. Even a Kshatriya, a warrior, should perform his karmas excellently. This verse is a very revolutionary verse. This because many times we are told that if a person is a Shudra, a labourer, and he advances, then he can become a Brahmin, and only after becoming a Brahmin can this happen, and only can one attain liberation. This is described in the Vedas, and it's not my intention to say it is wrong, but Sri Krishna says it is not necessary, because if a human being performs his duty out of his own nature, then he attains perfection. This means that it is possible for us to attain liberation in this birth, and one can attain liberation also from the path of karma, action. The circumstances that we're in and the type of karmas, actions that have come to us, if we perform those karmas, actions in the right way, then we can attain perfection. The important word in this verse is abhirataha. The Gita has described attachment in 2 ways. There are 2 words, abhirataha, devoted, and asaktaha, attached. Asaktaha is when a person is stuck and wishes for the fruits of karma, actions. This is not such a person. A person who is abhirata is one who performs karma actions and becomes involved in such a nice way, but when the karma actions becomes finished, then the karma action comes out of him. Na karoti na lipyate. He neither acts nor is tainted. He knows that I have performed karma actions in a nice way, and I have attained bliss by performing karmas. Whatever fruits of this that are to come will come. What is an asakta, attached person, like? He performs karma actions, but he performs them with an expectation of the fruits. Shri Krishna does not use the word asakta, attached here. He uses the word abhirataha, devoted. He becomes involved in the karma actions, but not in the fruits. One should get bliss at the time of performing karma. One should only perform those works from which they get bliss. Then they do not have any worries about their consequences. They do not look at what they will get out of them, and that karmas should be one's responsibility. One has taken the responsibility and they should complete it. When a person is devoted to his own duty according to his nature, then he attains perfection. Shri Krishna has not used the word abhirata, devoted, before, but he uses it here. One should become abhirata, devoted in life, and not asakta, attached. We become asakta, attached very quickly. We stick onto things. Being abhirata, devoted, is like the clouds that come out of the sky, and being asakta, attached, is like the stains on the wall. When the clouds come into the sky, then they come because it's their duty. They shower down rain, and then they go, and the sky becomes clear again. On the other hand, stains on the wall stick onto the wall. All our karma actions are like the stains on the walls. They ruin us. Karma should be like the clouds in the skies, where one just performs their duty and then finishes so that the sky is clean again. Only then will one attain perfection, and whatever karma one performs should be performed excellently. There's an event which is written about in the Buddhist scriptures. The king Samrat Asoka came after Buddha, and King Samrat Asoka promoted Buddhism. It once so happened that in his kingdom that the river Ganga was passing near the town. The flow of the river is always changing. At that time it so happened that the flow of the river was so strong it was about to pass over the town. Such circumstances were created that the whole town would get flooded by the river. They had to change the flow of the river. They thought about what they should do in order to change the flow. The priest said that if there is a person who has performed satkarma, then if they make the order, then the flow of the river will change. Many people are called from the town. Many priests were called and many wise people were called. Even merchants were called who had performed satkarma by giving a lot of donations. They were told to make the orders so that the flow of the river would change. They did, and nothing happened. In the end, a prostitute in a town by the name of Bindumati, you may have heard from the life of King Samrat Asoka, came, and on her saying, the flow of the river Ganga changed. People were astonished because priests make the order, wise people made the order, and everybody made the order, yet the river Ganga did not change a flow, yet the order of a prostitute should change a flow. They asked why this was so. At the time, the prostitute Bindumati clarified that according to the circumstances I was in, and according to the karma actions that came in front of me, I performed those karma actions with loyalty. I performed them considering them to be my dharma. I never kept a different attitude of something being higher work and something being lower work. This is because I was devoted to my duty. When one has this, then they attain success. When a person is devoted to his own duty, according to his nature, then he attains perfection. How can one attain this? God describes this in the next verse, verse 46. Yatta pravritti bhutan